At 21 years old, I become the youngest a $45 billion valued fintech company, and I did it in 11 months. Prior to that, I was an SDR with zero experience, and 11 months later, I was closing five-figure deals with C-level buyers and hit 141% of my quota in my first quarter. So I just wanted to break down the three skills that helped me get promoted fast. This worked for me, but it's also helped the 100 plus reps I coach to actually hit their number and work towards getting that first promotion or second promotion and just building a career in tech sales. So the first thing I want to talk about, and this is arguably the most important, is make everything about your numbers. My first ever sales role was in COVID. I was 18 years old doing face to face, selling everything from charities to security, just anything you can imagine. But what they taught me was one principle that I still live by and still teach to everyone I work with today, which is the law of averages, which is consistent input leads to consistent output. In sales, we're all quota driven, we're all focused on hitting that number. But if we obsess over booking 10 meetings in a month, it becomes hard because there's no clear path to get there. So, what we need to do is instead reverse engineer to focus on our inputs. So, in the face-to-face days, we had to do four sales a day. It was commission only, so I definitely had to as well. But instead of saying, I want to get four sales today, we would reverse engineer the numbers and focus everything on hitting that input. So for us, it was stop 100 people a day to have 100 conversations, get 50 over to like our desk so we could present to them, present to 30 people, close 20 of them, so finish the full pitch, and out of that 20, forward buy. So they were our numbers. So instead of saying, I need to get four sales and constantly focusing on that. We were just focused on the input. And this applies exactly whether you're cold calling, cold emailing, no matter what you're doing, you can use this. So if I was cold calling, and what I teach the reps I work with is instead of saying, I need to book 10 meetings this month through cold calls, we reverse engineer it. We say, okay, based on your numbers, if you did, for example, 1,000 dials with a 5% connect rate, you're going to have 50 connects. And out of those connects, if you get 20 conversations and you book 10 meetings, right? So then you have a 10% conversion conversation to meeting booked ratio. So again, instead of focusing on the 10 meetings a month, your only goal is to execute on that 1,000 dials over the course of a month. 20 working days is 50 a day. And it's much more manageable to focus on 50 dials because that's completely in your control than it is to focus on the end output. And this also links into the second thing, which is what happens a lot of time is reps will have a good month, like good start to the month. Let's say they're aiming for 10 meetings. Week one, they book five. They think I'm going to crush it. And then they sort of lay off, right? And then they take the foot off the gas. But the reason this doesn't work is again, you have to work the numbers. It doesn't matter where the yeses will come because you could have five yeses now, then 50 no's in a row, and then your last five yeses on the last five pitches. So always focus on executing the input. Don't worry about if you book a meeting on the phone today. Just worry about executing on your input, the things you control. The second thing, and what really helped me again, is just having a mentor. So again, face-to-face sales, I had leaders who helped me develop. And one of my first ever sales coaches was incredible. She always hit her number. She spent hours a week developing me, helping me train people as well. So that mentor really shaped my career. And a good mentor can really transform where you're going to be in the next 5 years. If you're in a role right now, especially early stage companies have this issue where there's no real sales process. They just hire people that found in reps and then they just leave them to it. Or even big companies where there's so many reps that they can't get one-to-one support. You should always be looking for someone to help you develop like your own skill set. You don't have to pay for this, of course. You can just find a friend who's an AE or look for someone who's a top rep and just learn from them. But have someone who's willing to help you develop your skill sets. Like a smart man learns from his own mistakes, but the wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So instead of you making 1,000 dials and not booking any meetings, you can learn from what didn't work for somebody else. Apply their advice and then just execute better from the get go. So have someone who's willing to help you develop, help you work on your skill set. For me, I was lucky to have a few paid coaches who helped me learn the AE skill set of discovery, demos, and also a few free ones who just invested their time to really help me work on my skill set. And the third thing is have an operating system. As I said in the first point, like make everything about your numbers, but it's hard to do that if you don't know your numbers. And this is the biggest mistake reps have, which is they just don't understand like what input it takes to get them to their end outcome. And every day is like putting out fires. 1 minute they're doing cold calls, then they hop, they're checking Slack, then they get an internal meeting, and they're just bouncing between 50 different tasks. But what you should be doing is build a system that works for you in your day to day. So when I was an SDR, I time blocked everything. My first 1 hour of the day was for pure cold calling, picking up the phone, making at least 50 dials. After that, I had a 2 hour block for prospecting, finding new people, putting them into sequence, then a 1 hour break. And again, like this structure makes it repeatable. If every day is different, it's hard to maintain consistency. And there's a quote from Seneca, which I love, which is life without consistency is chaos. Like you need a process, you need structure to help you execute because it's not about doing it one day and going off the boil the next. Like to get consistent results, to get promoted like I did, you have to hit your number every single month. As an SDR, in my ramp, I averaged 140%. Over the course of my SDR career, I averaged 137.5%, and I never missed my number. Every single month, I hit it because I had a system. I knew what to do every single day. I knew the input I needed to do to get me to the outcome. I had a process for prospecting. I had a process for email. I had a process for cold calling. And again, like now I call this the operating system, which is what I teach, which is the prospecting operating system, the email operating system. And you need to build these own systems in your day to day because you need consistency to get promoted. And the last thing, just sort of like a bonus, is just the mindset piece. Like discipline is much, much more important than motivation. Like motivation will come and go. You'll have a good month, you'll feel great. You'll get told to F off on the call the next one, and you'll suddenly start to feel depressed, right? But if you're disciplined, you focus on the input no matter what. Like you just have to keep doing the input. If you do the input consistently, the results compound, and over time, it's going to help you get to that end goal. So no matter how you feel, you should do it. Like do it no matter what. Do the input, make the calls, make the emails, and that's how you can do it. So again, this is all I did. I focused on these three things. I made everything about my numbers, reverse engineered it so I knew what I had to do. I had a mentor who was willing to help me develop, work on my skill set. And the third thing, I just built that operating system and executed on it every single day. So if you do these things, you will be in a great spot. And I'll argue that by the end of the year, in the next 6 months, over Q3 and Q4, you could be in a position to get promoted. And of course, like if you want my help installing this operating system or just having that mentor by your side to help you, feel free to book a call with the link in the description. But either way, hope this helped.